This episode is brought to you by Tabletop Dominion, purveyors of handmade dice and artisan gaming accessories. Why not head over to tabletopdominion.com and use the code BILLOW to enjoy 10% off your order? Who knows, maybe you will find your very own blue dice of power.
Hello and welcome to the Billowing Hilltop podcast. I'm here with René Pierre. Hello, René Pierre.
Hey, how's it going?
Very well, very well. Come in. Welcome to the command pod. Take a seat anywhere. Not there. Not there. René Pierre is from Fari RPGs and is here to talk about your Kickstarter for the Stoneburner RPG. Why don't you give us a quick overview? Just tell us about Stoneburner. Tell us about the game, the setting, the concept.
Right, yeah, of course. So Stoneburner is what I'd call sci-fantasy, solo-friendly TTRPG of demon hunting and community building in a cursed asteroid mine that's owned by dwarves. Everyone plays a dwarf in this game space, badass dwarves.
Yes.
And the goal of the players basically in this game is to explore cursed mines, loot them, and fight demons along the way. Go back to your settlement and then salvage and sell the loot to be able to get credits, and then use your credits to rebuild a thriving community in this asteroid belt that we call the Long Belt. So that's kind of like the pitch.
So the kind of classic old school fantasy RPG trope, the group of adventurous heroes or whatever, exploring, slaying bad things, grabbing treasure. It's sort of along those lines, but it's asteroids, space, dwarves, basically.
Right, and the reason why you're actually doing all of this is because all the players are actually distant relatives to Broker Longneck, which was maybe your great uncle who passed away, and you're only surviving relative. So you ubiquitted you those mines.
You've been left the mines, bequeathed the mines, and you and your fellow dwarves are exploring, settling, whatever. So I'm sold, basically. Tell me a little bit. It's the Breathless RPG engine, isn't it?
Yeah, it's based on the Breathless SRD, which is something that I've published and written around February of last year. So Breathless is this horror survival minimalist RPG, which fits on a single piece of paper. So it's a little pamphlet that you fold into. So you've got the cover, all the rules, and the character sheet on a single piece of paper. And then around that same time last year, I released the game, and I released an open licensed SRD. And to this day, I think more than 250 Breathless games out there that the community have designed. Yeah.
Wow. And it's super light, right? I mean, it's like you say, it's one page.
Right. So the original rules are one page, but then there are people who have made 80 pages long games, hardcover books out of them. And Stoneburner is a little bit it builds on top of Breathless and adds other mechanics. For example, the original game didn't have anything related to combat and things like that, but Stoneburner has, so it builds on top of it.
Our readers, hello readers, by the way, isn't it nice to be listening to something other than our trudge through this cave combat? Our readers, René Pierre, are gamers. They're interested in games. I think we could get into a little bit of the kind of Breathless mechanics, if you like. What's the core system? How does it work?
Yeah, sure. So the core thing about Breathless is that basically all your skills are associated with a die rating, which ranges from a D4 all the way to the D12, right? And when you roll a die, when you want to make a check for something risky, for example, you roll your skill die. So, for example, if I am a strength that's at a D6, I roll that D6. And then on a 1-2, it's a failure with a consequence. On a 3-4, it's a success with a consequence. And then 5+, it's a resounding success, right? No consequences.
Got it.
The twist is every time that you use a skill, that skill steps down. So when you roll that strength die, because you've used it, it steps down from a D6 to a D4.
Oh, I see. Okay, so, what, forever? I mean, you can reset it? How does that...
Yeah, you can reset it. So you've got multiple skills. In Breathless, there are 6.
Otherwise, everybody just, after about an hour and a half, everybody's just sitting around, they can't do anything. Okay, gotcha. So it resets, what, every day or what?
It resets when you want to. The only twist, again, is that, as you play, you're becoming more breathless, which is the title of the game, and it's like a zombie survival game. So the goal is to you play, you become more breathless, and then you can at some point ask the GM, I want to catch my breath. And you can do that at any time. You don't need to like be away from enemies. You can be in the middle of a fight and just say, I want to catch my breath. And then all your skills reset. But the GM, there's a but. The GM can throw a new consequence at the scene. So it's like maybe you were able like to find some safe haven away from all the zombies, and you're like, okay, I've got 30 seconds to just catch my breath. And the GM is like, oh yeah, cool, perfect, you catch your breath. But then like this bigger new type of zombie just breaks through the door, and now you're stuck with it.
Got it. Very elegant. We've been playing a bit of Coriolis recently. I don't know how familiar you are with that. Players are making a skill check or whatever. They can re-roll failed dice when they pray to something called the icons. When they do so, though, they hand a point to the GM, and that GM can spend that point on bad things for them. There's a kind of karma element. I like that very much. So it's a mechanic set up for a zombie game, and then you've developed it out to support dwarves, asteroids, exploration, demons. Talk about that a little.
We expanded on the original system, so there's still the Breathless core, which is like it can be found like directly inside the game. Where we expanded it is that like we wanted the game to focus on combat because it's inspired by Doom.
Right.
It is also inspired by like Deep Rock Galactic, Dwarf Fortress, things like that. So combat was important, so we introduced combat rules and combat mechanics that are still very streamlined and always boils down to the same Breathless score. So when you want to like attack an enemy, don't roll to hit, you always hit, and then you roll one of your skills, and that's going to determine how much hits or damage you do on an enemy.
Got it.
Your enemies are represented by die ratings, and they attack you back and things like that. So we added mechanics for this. We have looting mechanics. So again, like you have a loot die, which steps down every time you use it. And at some point, if you use it too much and you roll like, for example, 1 and a 2, there's trouble ahead and something more complicated. Like there's a complication that arises. We have mechanics for salvaging, project crafting, because we know dwarves generally like to forge things and create stuff with their hands. So we knew this is something that we wanted to have in the game. So we also added mechanics for this. And one of the things we're most proud of is our exploration mechanics. So when you want to explore a certain sector of the asteroid belt, the GM takes all of the polyhedral set of dice and throws them on the table. And by using and using like the physical location of the dice on the table, they circle things up and map certain areas together. And this is basically the path that the players will be able to take. And every single die is actually mapped to a table for that sector to generate points of interest and random events that will happen and will
read the
present.
number. Yeah, that's genius. You read the number off the dice. That tells you what's there, and then the distribution of the dice tells you where's where. Right, basically.
Right. And yeah, that's exactly it. And then depending if the number of the dice is even or odd, then that will tell you if certain things are grouped together or if they're blocked by some sort of obstacle. And the goal of the game is to have as many of those sectors, tables as possible. So we have stretch goals for like inviting a couple of like other designers to design more sectors. For example, Andrew Boyd of Pandian Games. We've got Alan from Gallant Knight Games. Sean and Navy Drake from a couple of Drakes, and even Spencer Campbell from GLA RPG. So we've got big plans.
Solo friendly. Talk to me about what you mean by solo friendly.
Right. So the game can be played the way that I play it with my own group is like it's very much like I'm the GM and I've got my players, right? So it's very much traditionalist in that sense. Classic.
Yeah.
Though the game is very much collaborative in general, like not everything stays on the GM's shoulder. So like the game really encourages everyone to like take a go at making the universe more their own. What we mean by solo friendly is that everything was written from the perspective of the players. So like when you read the book, you can take it and read it and play it by yourself, not just because like the game is aimed towards you reading the book, like you being anyone at the table, but also because we included 2 in-game oracle which help players, like if you want to play it by yourself, they will help you answer a bunch of questions that like many questions that you might have about where you want your story to go. And we also include like so many random tables that like if you want to play by yourself and you're like, oh, I don't exactly know where the story should go next, we have like tables for like generating tension, drama, world sparks, NPCs, demons, and whatnot.
So it's on a Kickstarter.
It is.
Happy Star Wars Day, by the way. It's May the 4th. And your Kickstarter's running to the 10th, is that right?
The 11th.
The 11th. Okay, so readers, we have a week. And you're doing well so far?
Yeah, the response has been quite astonishing. Like, we funded in 2 hours. We have hundreds of backers right now, and we're way over our original goal. So, like, things are going extremely well. We've got stretch goals that we didn't plan for because we thought this would stay relatively small, but the response has been, like, completely astonishing.
The whole approach to Kickstarter is something that I just find mystifying and terrifying, but it sounds like you got it basically exactly right. Talk about the fulfillment and the goals and all of that. Is this your first Kickstarter? I mean, how are you approaching all of those kind of mechanics?
This is my first Kickstarter, though it is not my first crowdfunding project. So there was a lot of unknowns that we wanted to get right as to like how we want to like put the game all together and then print it and then ship it. We're partnering with Indie Press Revolutions. They're in the United States, and they're going to handle everything that's related to like fulfillment and all of that. So we've got that all handled, but everything.
You're shipping physical product, or is that one of the tiers?
Yeah, there are like 2 tiers. There's one for the PDF and one for the PDF and the physical copy, which is going to be around like more than 80 pages, perhaps 100, maybe more, pure bound copy of the game.
So basically, you got 1 page of the core Breathless system and then 79 pages of Stoneburner magic stuff.
Yeah, that's basically it, and a lot of it is like filled with like beautiful art from Galen. Like he's such a talented artist and like a wonderful friend of mine, and like he's very good.
I really like the art. I like the design. I like the logo. I like everything. I just think that's kind of what got me into it. And you got a week to go, so I mean, who knows where you might go with this? But it sounds like you've got big plans. Readers, head to the Kickstarter app, head to the Kickstarter site, search for Stoneburner, and get on it if you like the sound of it. Dwarves, asteroids. I mean, what's not to like? And René Pierre, how do people find you? How do people find Fari RPGs? How do they find Stoneburner? How do they find you on socials? Give us all of those details.
You can find me on Twitter at RPDESHAIES. My website for Fari RPGs is FARIRPGs.com, or search for Stoneburner Kickstarter on Google or on Kickstarter, and you're most definitely going to find it.
I mean, that's basically everything that anybody could ever need. Readers, just a quick recap. So a Kickstarter finishes on the 11th of May, so check it out as soon as you can. I beseech, I implore you. Go to Kickstarter and search for Stoneburner, or open your phone. You're listening to this now. Open your phone, click on the link in the show notes. It'll take you straight there. Check it out. You've got until the 11th of May. So if you like dwarves, if you like asteroids, sounds like it should be your thing. Well, thanks very much for coming in, René Pierre. It's been great to have you here in the Command Pod. Readers, we're always grateful for an email. Ratings and reviews are always good news. Oh, that rhymed. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us in all the usual places. I have no other news or information for you. Thank you very much, René Pierre.
Thank you so much.
Let us push on with episode 140 of the Billowing Hilltop podcast, Surge and Destroy. Sorry, what were you saying, Johnny, about your smoke cloud?
Well, did anybody else see the smoke cloud?
Oh, I see. I mean, as in, is it real? Or
yes.
Is it only you?
Is it just me that thinks it's
No, it's real. It's real.
But this creature's not affected by the smoke cloud.
It reacted to you moving up to it, whenever that was, a while ago.
This is
a good
true
evening,
sight or something like that.
By the way, good evening, everyone. We're off and running again. Something's going on there. Maybe it's got an ability to see through your
Did I have weird fog lamp eyes?
I was just fucking with you, Johnny.
Were you?
Yeah.
So it's not cursed.
As a joke.
Battle axe.
You don't know. You just don't know. I just asked you to make a wisdom save when you triggered the smoke, and I think you rolled not a wonderful number. Yeah, you rolled a very low number, but there was no apparent effect.
It's probably just
as a result
it's more intelligent than you. It's taking over your mind.
Save.
Yes, it's got a sentient.
Yeah, it's win-win.
Or I'm deluded and I fail the roll.
Or both.
Both are probably true.
Or both. Yeah.
Yeah, more likely. Right.
Where we left things.
Where did we leave things?
On 20, we left things with a lair action. Hello, readers. Hello, Professor. Hello, other readers. This odd, acidic, blob, dragon, multi-skull creature gets to make lair actions, and on 20 is when they happen. And just as we finished Sessions' turn, we have a conversation in a minute, Graham, about how high Sessions is up the pipe. Is he right up? Yeah. Right up there. Right up. Or not, because that may affect stuff. But I reviewed the tape, and the tape says you were 15 feet up, but you didn't specify And then you dropped Burple off, and then you went back up again, but you didn't specify how high up. What's not clear is whether or not you're 15 feet up the pipe, i.e. 22 feet off the floor, or 15 feet off the floor.
22 feet off the floor. 50 foot of movement.
Okay, fine. So you're 15 feet.
Thanks, Lucas.
Lucas is with us
Is he?
again.
Is he? I mean, technically, I suppose.
Just throwing numbers around.
Nurse! He's out of bed again. He needs his dice tray changing. On 20, the lair action. The pool of water that covers most of the floor of this cave. There are in fact two pools. There's one full of gunky kind of horribleness, and then there's a regular-ish pool. Seems to be a bit fizzy and a bit acidic and a bit nasty. Anyway, both of them surge. They surge 20 feet, like full on. They basically fill pretty much all of the cave. They catch everybody. This kind of giant swoosh. It's like a flush, basically. It catches Scaly, it catches Bugraft, it catches Burple, it catches Parker.
Doesn't catch Burple. Surely
Maybe
not.
some of the very far edges of the upper shelves to the north, east, and northwest might be unaffected. And it surges up the pipe, but doesn't reach Sessions. And we need to get some saving throws from everybody. Everybody effectively is just kind of grabbed by this swirling mass of water. And it's a DC 15. Let's start this evening with a DC 15 strength saving throw.
Ooh.
That's what we're going to do.
Ooh. Alright, well, I'll just, need
Tonight's
my
bit
alt
about
dice.
people is Parker.
Yeah, there you go. I'll use my alt dice. Yeah, that's the save.
Burple saves. Scaly O'Toole.
Oh, I think I'm
Rolls
going
a
to use
3.
my alt dice.
Oh, wait a minute for everybody. Sorry, I do have, if anybody's within 10 foot of me... Oh, no, none of you are within 10 foot of me.
I am. I saved.
Bugcroft isn't within 10 feet of Scaly.
Yeah,
He's 10 feet away from Scaly.
Anyway, I
Is it plus
saved.
3 on all saves? Or, okay.
I'm just going to...
You save.
21.
Scaly's got to decide whether or not to use a thingy, and Parker.
18, 19.
Aura protection. While you're conscious, you grant all friendly creatures, including yourself, within 10 feet, plus 3 bonus to all saving throws.
Well,
Wow.
there you go. Lovely. That's incredibly useful. That makes you very popular.
So I then... Yeah,
Nope.
That,
That's going to be enough.
yeah, 20.
Okay, so you manage to hold yourselves pretty much in place, but you are all knocked prone by the water. Anybody got any concentration?
Yes, I'm concentrating on the wall of force.
Oh, of course you are. Of course you are. Oh, right, excellent. Well, it's a DC 10. I mean, it's a formality, really. A DC 10 Constitution save.
Just want to check. I think I have...
Concentration. You might have some kind of super thing.
I think I have Warcaster. Yes, you have advantage on Constitution saving throws that you make to maintain your concentration on a spell when you take damage.
Not going to help.
Why doesn't that count?
Well, you didn't take damage. It's a technicality, but an important one. A wheezy wee wham waff.
Okay. I can use my reaction to take an opportunity attack to cast a spell that has a casting time of 1 action. That's quite nice. Okay, it's a Constitution saving throw, right?
It's a formality.
It's
There
not.
you go.
Yes, 22.
That was 20 on 19. It's Packer. You're prone, Packer.
Stand up.
You're getting a sense that you understand why all of this stuff is smashed up so much.
Does the water go back down,
well,
Mike?
Yes,
It's a kind of flushing effect.
It's a flushing effect. It's a surge.
Well, I will stand
saying
up.
that-
I will move up to it.
Yes.
Staying away, I assumed that this square here, which is half of the... Does that count as squeezed, or
I think we will say that,
can I stand in that square and act normally, or...
these are the kinds of judgments I don't like to make. I don't like the look of that square very much. Sod it, I'm in a good mood. Don't worry about it, it's fine. I think it's less than 50% pool, so I'm going to
Right.
say you're fine.
And I will go hackety-hack at it. First attack, I'm class 16.
Is a miss.
I'm class... Oh, dear me.
It's
no,
a
that's also
miss.
a miss.
2, had a miss. Oh, that's a 1.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate for you. You can use your luck though.
now I'm going to save my luck. And I will move back again. Right,
You don't
so-
draw attacks of what's it thingy.
No,
right?
because I've attacked it.
Oh, I should have done acid damage on you all, but I didn't because I'm dumb as an ox. No, strong as an ox. daft as a brush, strong as an ox. Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay. That was Parker. On 18, it's Uncle Baggy.
I'm raging, so I'm going to bash it with the Great Axe of the Timber Dart.
Yes.
First attack,
Okay.
27.
27's a hit against the creature.
I do the following damage.
Damage.
15 points of damage.
That's slashing damage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a bit of radiant thrown in.
Yeah. Oh,
Next attack is an 18.
an 18 is a miss.
Boo. And that was it. Rather disappointing.
Well, it's it. Now, what it's going to do is, first of all, it's going to roll the d6. Getting a 5. It slides back into its pool a little bit. It might draw an attack of opportunity from one or more of you. It does. Anybody want an attack of opportunity on it as it does so?
Yep. I'll bash. And 26.
Yeah, that's a hit. 100%.
10 points of damage. It's pathetic.
And Tool, using armor class 18, is a
Uplifting
miss.
Is a miss.
And then what it does is it emits this cloud of acidic noxious
Noxious.
acidic
Noxious.
noxious
Noxious.
noxious
Noxious.
acidic
That's easy for you to
noxious
say.
steam that catches Buggy and Scaly in front of it.
Oh, thanks ever so much.
Can both of you first of all give me dexterity saving throws? DC 18.
21.
And from Uncle
A
Buggy?
dexterity save, because of my barbarian thing, I get advantage on effects that you can see when not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
Got it.
Add 2 to this.
Well,
Natural
it's a
20,
save.
22. Oh, I'm running quite well tonight.
You take the following acid damage. So if you have resistance to acid damage,
I do.
well, you're going to take a quarter of. The total damage is 59 points of acid damage, 29 points on Scaly,
Scaly. Yep.
and 14 points on Uncle Buggy. Then can both of you please make a Constitution save, DC 18.
Against what?
Scaly makes it. Yep.
Yep. Make it with
So
24.
against?
It's a poison effect.
Right.
Oh, I'm resistant to
got
poison.
advantage of poison. Constitution. Yeah, that's a 20.
20. Okay, so you both save.
I've got resistance. What does that mean?
Resistance means that if you take poison damage, you only take half damage.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that you have any advantage on saving throws. And
Yeah.
it doesn't mean if you take poison that poisons you and kills you, you don't die.
Okay.
Right, that is that for it. And we move on to Scaly O'Toole on 17.
Right then. First thing Scaly O'Toole's going to do is take an action to lay on hands. He's just going to do full 65 points of heal on himself, which does a lot of good. He's then gonna kind of make his way around the pool, around the side, so he's base to base without being in the slimy pool. And
Yeah, you're all right in that square, I think, just.
yeah, and I can do a 2-attack round. Do I have to declare Divine Smite before I attack, or only when I know the result, do you think? Doesn't really say. It says whenever you hit.
Doesn't say attack, it says hit.
Yeah, so you can just say when you hit, yeah. Well, as a
Yeah.
bonus action, I'm going to do my Vow of Enmity, so I gain advantage
Yep.
on attack rolls, and I'll decide as and when.
How many divine smites do you get to use in any given period of whatever?
Divine Smite's a spell slot, so I get spell slots.
Okay,
You've
so
done
burn a
your,
spell slot.
Lay on hands already.
Yeah, I've done my lay on hands.
Yeah.
I haven't
That's,
decided.
Was that a bonus action?
Bonus.
Yeah.
So
There's a bonus action.
bonus action.
Yeah.
Then you move.
Yeah, and I've now got
Yeah.
2 attacks. So I can decide whether I hit, whether or not I
Whether or
make-
not to burn spell slots to turn them into a divine smite.
Yeah.
We're all learning together about this.
But is that a
Paladin.
bonus
Sorry,
action doing
readers.
that?
No action, no, it's not. It's just because you burn a spell slot. First attack at advantage, so
Yep.
I think I'll take the advantage on that one.
It's a miss. Oh, hello, it's a 20. Wow, that is rare.
Natural 20. I have to confirm.
If you want to take a card, you need to confirm.
No, I'm not going to take a card. I'm just going to
Sorry.
do the bloody damage.
No, it's free.
Sorry,
It's
can I just
free.
ask a question? Because I don't
Yeah.
think lay on hands works the way Paul thinks it does.
I can hear the sound of a rug being pulled out from under somebody.
Yeah, no, I'm
I don't.
quite happy
in
to have a
Pathfinder,
rug.
I think it's it's a free action on yourself,
Oh.
an action on someone else. In 5e, I think it's an action to do it, whoever you do it on.
It is, you're right, it's an action. So
Okay.
I've had an action. Oh, I can only have an
Walk
action.
right
and
up
move.
to it, and then you realise as you get there that you've run out of
I've run out of
attack
actions.
You're just standing.
Oh,
I think
damn, that's...
we were very nice to you at the end of the last session. I'm minded to be nice to you again. I don't think Tool would not understand this. So I think Tool lays on hands, and then you can decide what to do after that.
Well, then he'll do a...
Right.
You could do a haste.
He's got no attacks. He's got
You can do a haste, but...
no that
What?
which
Oh, no.
action?
No, you're right.
This isn't exemplary. It has to be said.
No, it never is, though.
We can. You've got a bonus action if you have one, and you've got a move if you'd like one.
No.
That's where we are.
No, not going to do anything. I'm going to... ooh,
So you're all done. You're all done.
I might just move away a bit.
Away.
Yeah, I'll go back in.
Frontline
Don't worry, I'm
fighter.
going to go back in.
That took a while, but we sort of got there.
Yeah, that's all right.
On 11, it's Bubbledy Habbledy Hoo. You're on your ass. Oh, you didn't stand up either. Scaly. Doesn't matter because
You got... It just doesn't matter. We got there.
He's got enough movement to
Yeah.
stand up
Yes.
and move.
But sorry, just before Scaly finishes, you know you have spells
Well,
that are bonus actions, yeah?
Yeah.
Paul? So you could cast one of those so that you use your bonus action this round. Some of them last a while.
I'd need to have a look. I don't want to slow things down. I'll have a look. If I find anything useful, I'll shout.
I'm going to scour through my spell list to see if there's anything that I can. Was I still knocked over even though I was levitating?
you were levitating.
I'm not levitating. No, I
well,
wasn't
then that's
levitating.
probably why.
Yeah, that's probably why I got knocked over. Got all these spells. They're all
that's the problem,
concentration
isn't it?
guys. Do you know what I mean?
Concentration-y spells.
And Graham forced me to do that Wall of Force. So I will try Dissonant Whispers on it. I've done me lightning, haven't I?
You've had a shot with your lightning. It didn't seem to do any damage.
No, it didn't. Nothing I do is going to do any damage because it's just got these
Well, it
ridiculous
has this thing
saving
that it can
throws.
choose to save, doesn't it? So somehow we need to...
Yeah,
When does it go? On 18.
on 20, I think. Oh no, on 18.
Something happens on
18.
20, though.
Yeah, it gets a thingy action.
This thing has got lair actions. You don't know if it's got legendary actions.
Well, it had the...
Yeah.
It chose to save last week.
There's something called legendary resistance. It's not an action.
Anyone wounded?
Not badly.
162.
I
I mean, a heal
You
wouldn't
do-
be bad if you can do it. by
Have you got
range.
anything that will force it to use its legendary resistance?
Yeah.
No. Everything's concentration. Even Otto's irresistible
Yeah,
dance is
okay.
concentration.
Can you do
I've got synaptic
fairy
static,
fire? Oh, synaptic static.
which is a saving throw. I mean, it's quite chunky. It's 5th level. Why don't we just do Dissonant Whispers?
Synaptic static. It takes damage even if it saves, right?
Yeah, half damage.
But with
Same
the
is
advantage
true
of
with-
it then basically having to take off a d6 on everything it does afterwards, right?
If it fails,
Yeah, but I mean,
but it can choose to save. That's the problem with synaptic static. It's quite a chunky spell.
one thing we could do is if I manage to hit it, it can also make a saving throw against stunning strike. If it then chooses to make that save, then that would use up that
But it's
action.
my round.
No, I'm just wondering whether you could ready an action, because I go after sessions.
But then I'm casting the spell. It does its thing.
Well, not only that, but readying a spell
Yeah.
requires concentration.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It would drop the wall of force.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to do a 3rd level Dissonant Whispers on it. Let's have a Wisdom save DC 16.
Let me look up its wisdom save. I can see that now, ladies and gentlemen. It makes that save comfortably. on
Okay,
the
well, it
blue
takes half
dice of saves.
of 20, so it takes 10 points of psychic damage.
Psychic damage. Let me just see if psychic damage is on the list. It's not on the list.
There you go. Right, so now we know it's
Takes,
subject to psychic damage
8 points of psychic.
10.
Oh, 10 points of psychic damage.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, that extra 2 points is
Well,
absolutely,
every little helps.
absolutely
What's the
vital.
difference?
I'm just wondering, what's the terrain like around this pool?
The one near you?
Yeah.
It's like a little bowl-shaped depression that the pool is taking up the majority of, and then you've got the two shelves, raised areas to the north, east, and the northwest that are like loops.
But how
Of
far
this
did
area.
it expand, I guess, is if I moved round to the west, Would it-
you're not certain, obviously. I'll tell you what, give me just a straight intelligence check. I don't know why. I don't know what. Yeah, okay, let's go for intelligence.
Not perception, investigation, insight.
You're making a judgment, I think, based upon what your experience was, which was mostly submerged. Well, that's a really good number. You think that the area that you're sizing up was immersed, and thinking about it, it all looks a little bit damp over there. But, critically, you think that the areas at the backs of the two raised areas may have been left untouched.
And how easy would it be to move up?
It's a bit of a clamber. It's 2 squares to clamber up. That makes sense?
Yes, but I don't have that kind of move.
That's 3 squares to stand up, isn't it?
And it's 3 squares to stand up, of course.
Yes, so I could get to there.
So you're in the corner with the packing crates a little bit south of Parker. Readers, none of this makes any sense to you, but it's all theatre of the mind. Let's move on. On 21, sessions, you can see the 3 black dragon heads peering down at you, silhouetted by the cold, sleet-laden sky, and they look like they're in some kind of conversation with each other. On 21 also, it is sessions.
Okay, so I'm thinking.
Uh-oh.
But
Okay, that's your turn.
Yeah.
Parker on 19.
Oh, that's inefficient.
so this pool in front of me is water, yes?
Well, it's not in front of you.
Or beneath me, yeah. The pool.
You wanna,
The first pool is some sort of smelly water. Is that correct?
you've got the most tenuous understanding of the pool.
I have been
sessions. All
down
you've done
to
is
the ground.
You've dipped down,
Yeah.
dropped people off, and then shot straight back up like a rat up a drain pipe.
Exactly.
Right up.
Right.
Then it
Your
raised
brief-
below my feet, so I did get a good chance to see it. Yeah.
Your brief dip down, and your sense from the discussion that's been zapping about between your colleagues is that there's something a bit funny about that water, something a bit fizzy, and something maybe a little bit acrid.
Okay, but essentially water.
It's
Is this part
Control
water?
water. Yes.
or alkaline.
Control water.
Acidic water.
I think essentially water.
So
I don't know what to tell you.
okay, so I'm thinking, guys, that I could do some form of control water to hold the water in some,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
to push it to one side or to stop it. That might enable us to operate more freely in that space.
That'd be good.
It's not a bad idea.
I'm not quite sure how to shape it, so if anyone has any thoughts.
Although now where it's standing, it's
Are you dropping
basically
down the
moved
pipe
to the back.
to have a
of
look
it.
at all of this?
Yeah, I'm going to drop down the pipe.
You're going to be,
Yeah,
you're
it's
going to
like-
share your thoughts with your colleagues.
Yeah,
And then a very quick 6-second conversation.
I can push it apart. It's the description's a bit weird.
Oh, you can
As to what
either
it-
I think part water
create
is
a
the
channel.
main
You
one.
can
but-
create
Part
a
water's the
channel
main
through
one.
it.
So I can part water, a huge amount of water, as we've demonstrated in other settings, 100 foot on the side, which is way bigger than.
Also, you emptied the pool in the shadow world under the ziggurat
Yeah.
in the Spire of Long Shadows, or rather Buggy did.
So I'm wondering whether I could part water on that pond just to push it out of effect for the.
You kind of try and part it on one side, basically, a bit like Gary Lineker or something.
Yeah, part it so that
The
it.
problem
all
is where the creature is now, though. It's moved to the back of its acid pool. So
The
moving that
separated
water
water.
out of the way doesn't really. I mean, I don't see what it helps us.
Well, it's stopping it flooding the room with the big pool, isn't it? That's what it's doing.
Is there a drain anywhere? You could move the water to the drain
All right, obviously.
and have it
don't know
all
that.
run away down the drain.
There's no drain.
When the water did rise up, did it also cover the acid pool or not?
Yes.
Right.
The acid pool also rose up. Both
Oh,
bodies
together.
of water surged together and whirled around in the room,
Oh, okay. So they mixed with one another.
even more mixed than they were before.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
there's not going to be some strange reaction when they mix.
The surge of the water from that pool wasn't the water in the pool slushing around the room. It was a sudden and magical expansion of the amount
Yes.
of water
Mm-hmm.
to fill the entire chamber. I am minded to think that control water in some way might allow you to mitigate the effects of that water surge should it happen again. But I just want to make sure that we're clear
Yeah.
that we're not talking about. Right, okay, good.
I'm more thinking about whether you could use that control water in some kind of offensive way. One of the things you can do with the control water is make a whirlpool.
I think it's happy in the water. I don't think it's worried about the water. I think.
Couldn't you ready an action so when it
This is
surges forward, you can redirect the flow?
You know, a bit of a waste of a turn.
No,
We're
you
up to
you
about
ready the
second of the
action, keep it
6 seconds.
concentrated on it.
Yeah, we're having a
It
long.
does the thing, and then you trigger the
don't know.
redirected flow, which causes it to move in a direction you choose.
That's possible. Yeah, redirect the flow to push it somewhere else.
You could redirect it at it.
If we can come up with a way of managing that, I think that we would say that using control water might mitigate stuff.
You could ready in action to part water, so as soon as it rises up, you then triggers your spell to part it into a trench. Rather
I
than
think we just
rising
be
up,
more-
it just forms a wall on either side.
I don't know that you need to use the letter of the law and then try and turn that into something useful. I think we could kind of be a bit more general as the clock ticks down.
Mm-hmm.
This Parker is very nice, this beer, Paul.
Oh, I'm not drinking.
Doesn't
beer.
ask so many questions for starters.
Gee, yeah.
What's the plans, Dan?
I'm going to cast control water, and I'm going to
Right.
focus on directing the water away from everyone up towards, so around Buggy in that area. If it's not really flowing, not much will happen at the moment. If it starts surging, I guess it will have to move in that direction.
Well, we'll see. Let's hope we don't encounter a point at which we have to adjudicate on this, but that's fine. On 20, it's lair action time again. There's no surge of the water.
That's rather annoying.
No, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to quickly, I need to find a mini from my extensive collection for this. Oh, there we go. Oh, yes. Filling
What's that?
the whole area.
Some kind of swarm?
Yeah,
It seems to be getting bigger.
Creeping doom?
20-foot radius.
Ugh. 20-foot radius?
The entire area in front of this creature, including Bugraft and Scaly, is suddenly absolutely filled with swarming insects. It's an area of light obscurement. We'll have to look and see what that means in terms of rules. Actually, I have the rules open. You have disadvantage on wisdom or perception checks that rely on sight. That's basically it. Any creature in the cloud when it appears must make a Constitution saving throw. So, Uncle Buggy and Scaly, can you please make DC 15 Constitution saves? No, it's not poison.
What is it? So,
Well, it's normal
various-
damage.
No.
Yeah.
Various immunities.
It's just normal damage. It's bitey damage.
12. What was it?
15.
DC
No,
15. Do you have an Orc dice? Do you want to use it?
I've used it.
No, I'm
If
talking
it's a
about
strength thing, or a frightened, or poison, or
I think it's
dexterity, I get
bitey.
advantage.
It's going to be insect plague or something, isn't it?
It's insects biting you. It's going to be piercing damage, you think. Bitey,
Okay.
nasty damage.
No, I failed.
Okay. In fact, it's a lethal poison effect. No. It's
Well, I'm immune.
you take the following piercing damage as the horrible insects
Paralysis.
bite into your tiny forms.
I take half damage because I'm raging.
5 points of piercing damage. Scaly, you take 10 points of piercing damage.
Okay, I
But-
drop on the floor, kick my legs in the air, and go.
I'm gonna die. Into the pool. Help! No? And now it's Parker on 19.
Kill them.
Tuez. I'm going to step forward.
You.
I'm going to do Fist of Unbroken Air on it. It needs to make a strength saving throw, DC 15.
Well, let's see whether or not it makes that saving throw. It
That
does
smells.
with a 15.
To add another one.
Okay, well, so it still takes
Yep.
23 points of damage.
We're going to say that's magical, right? I think we've had
It's-
this discussion
I'm-
before.
Yeah,
It's a magical effect.
well, it's a key
so fine.
effect, so...
Yeah. On 18, it's Uncle Buggy.
But I'm moving out of the insect cloud on the western side of the slimy lake.
Yep.
Around the northern side of the slimy lake.
So you're sort of picking your way round.
Yeah, next to it. Right at the
Yeah,
northern edge
okay.
of the room, and then I'm going to bash it with my great axe.
Yeah.
Right up.
Right, great axe.
Right up. Yeah.
Oh, it's a 20!
Yeah.
And my sword does, my thing does something extra on a 20, so it takes another 14 points of damage.
You're shouting.
It's exciting.
He's excited.
He's
I'm
very
excited.
excited.
Sorry, roll
Very
of damage.
Oh my
So-
god.
Wow, it's a 12 and an 8.
Oh my god, look at that.
Wow.
And it's a,
On a d12 and a d8, that's just maximum damage.
and then I've got to double the dice, don't I, on a critical.
Yes.
So I'll roll that again. Ignore the +8 on this time.
Well, that's
Yeah, we're not
hopeless.
doing
So that's
hopeless.
5,
And then you
25.
33, plus
Yeah.
14 because of the sharpness. That's
Yeah.
47. And now if I roll another 20, I lop something off.
Yes, that's correct.
So
and
let's
if you
have a
roll
go.
another hit, you get to pick a critical card.
Yep, so let's see if I can.
Let's see if you can. Here we go. Everybody's waiting. Here it comes.
Big 20.
It's another 20.
Oh,
20.
That's
You are
amazing.
The severing, I lopped something off.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Right, what am I lopping
Well,
off?
it's got limbs. So, I mean,
What about his
okay, what
head?
we're going to do is
It feels like Johnny should choose, I think.
there is something going on here that you don't know about that might mean that Johnny's moment of glory turned into a moment of kind of meh. But I would say
don't
that
do that.
seems a little unfortunate. So
Waiting
what
his whole life for
It
that.
says if the creature has no limb to sever, you lop off
No,
a
it's-
portion of the body instead.
it is nothing to do with that.
He's resistant.
I'm going to say that you chop off a couple of tendrils. Your axe blade swoops through them, and there you go.
And you get the critical card.
And the loss of those tendrils
What's this
seems
thing
to have
called again, Johnny?
further wounded its
Great
sharpness.
axe of the timber dark. It's
And then we're going to
severing. Sharpness.
give you a critical card. You want to turn over your card.
Bloodied nose, maximum damage.
Is that piercing? I think it goes slashing, piercing, bludgeoning, magic.
Slashing.
You rolled a 2 and a 3 on the other dice, so it could have been 20.
So it's another 15.
And you rolled a 5, so it's another 15. Well, I mean, they're all round. That was pretty fucking
Amazing.
impressive.
I'm never going to do that again, am I?
No, that's
You
your one.
probably do it
It's-
next round.
3 million something.
It
And I've
hisses and shrieks.
I've got another
You've
attack,
another attack.
I'm afraid.
Here we go. Here comes another 20.
Here goes the other one.
And it is a 12.
23,
Is a hit.
and I do 11 points of damage.
Less impressive. Okay.
Yes, that is-
73 though for the
that's
round.
not
Yeah.
bad. That's not bad. Buggy. Got my blood up.
Why do you do less damage on the second one?
I've got this sort of divine smite for my cleric, which
Oh, I see,
can
I
only
see.
use
Right.
once
Oh,
around.
one of. Yeah.
Parker and Buggy, give me perception checks.
Oh, I know what it is. It's all illusionary. That's why it doesn't.
Oh, God, only a 4.
Okay.
4,
And Buggy?
5.
A
Sorry, a 7.
5? No.
7.
7. Okay, no, doesn't matter.
we
Doesn't matter.
don't notice a thing.
You don't notice a thing.
Ah,
It's still got
Behind
its
one of the
spin.
barrels, you see the little puppeteer.
No, I think it's illusionary. I'm doing illusionary damage.
Yeah.
It's a cursed item.
You think?
Yeah. I've still got my flame tongue, but I can't. It takes
Mhm.
a short rest to refocus to it, so not really
You're
going to
stuffed.
bash it.
At least you know what you're doing. I'm just going to go up and welly it, I think. I'd forgotten how complicated it can be running something like a paladin.
Paladins are good.
They are
remember
good.
We had a.
We are
We
run
both had a
paladins.
paladin down one dungeon. I can't remember what it was. and we
Yeah,
just
good,
go
but
and bash
just-
things.
Yeah, I've just come in at, fresh at level 13, and it's just like, oh, okay, there's quite a lot going on.
What dungeon was it that we both had a paladin?
Last paladin
you
I
remember?
had, I think, was when we were doing Rise of the Rune Lords with Mike DMing it.
that was a Pathfinder paladin as well.
So I think I'm just going to attack.
You can do Hunter's Mark, concentrate on that. It's a bonus action. And then
Yeah, I was looking at spells. It's an extra bit of damage. I was thinking of actually doing haste, because that's...
You have to
That-
concentrate on it, which means as soon as you get bashed,
Yeah.
you're
Well,
that's
saving
what
keep it.
Hunter's Marks also concentrate. Most.
but it's like a
was
first level spell, isn't it?
Yeah, the other one is
cheap.
to do Bane. which is
Bane's
to
not bad. If
But with Bane, I'm either going to do Bane or I'm going to attack it. Can't do both. It takes off 1d4. So it may not make much of a difference, to be honest with you.
no, but you might force it to take its legendary defense to avoid it.
Oh, I see what you mean. But if it doesn't, and it's only like taking one off, it's not going to really touch it. I don't know.
Uncle Buggy, now you get an attack of opportunity fish. Would you like to take it?
Yep.
This thing is heading away from you. It's heading after Scaly.
25. I'm rolling quite well. I tell you
Is it
why I'm rolling.
hit.
The good thing about this axe is it's got good pluses, but it doesn't do very much damage unless I.
Either that or the hand of a
16
certain woodland-based
points of
evil
damage.
figure is 16 points of damage. Scaly, you hear it splashing towards you through the pool. Yep.
Okay.
It's in the water,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not. It's going to attack you. It's going to try and bite you, and it rolls only a 3 with the blue dice of power there. That is insufficient. And then it attacks you with only 2 tendrils.
Yeah, disadvantage.
2 have been severed. The first is a miss, and that's the end of its turn. Natural with a 1. Very unlucky little creature.
Nice.
God for fucking hell that.
Don't pretend that you're at death's door. You've
No,
laid on hands. Sessions has healed you.
Yeah, you've had plenty of healing.
I've done my lay on hands.
You're absolutely fine.
Oh yeah.
And then, Scaly, would you like an opportunity attack?
Yeah.
Have a swing. It's attacked you, and then it's receding back into the pool and into the cloud of insects.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I thought it got a 1. I thought its round ended.
Its attacks end on a 1. By our convention, your attacks are over, but your move is not.
No, by our convention, your round ends. But that's fine if you want to play it like that.
Okay, the convention that we've been running is that if you have multiple attacks and you roll a 1, you get no more attacks. But should you like to apply that rule from now on and apply it now, I'm more than happy to.
I don't care.
What?
If you roll a 1, your round is over. No move, no bonus actions.
What are you talking
no
about, Dan?
What?
It's the end of your attacks. But we never said that you can't move.
Okay. Like I say, I don't care.
Let's.
Which is it to be? I'll go with whatever you decide.
Well, you're the DM, so...
My understanding is that if you roll a 1, it happens to Parker all the time. Unfortunately, is you roll a 1 and that's the end of your attacks, and Parker specifically has taken the lucky feat just to try and avoid that eventuality.
Yes.
But it's never been the understanding that your round is over and that you can't move. But if I've been misremembering it or whatever, or you don't think that that's fine, then we can change it. No? Okay, so it moves away. Scaly rolled a 1 and missed it, right?
Yeah.
And it's Scaly's round.
Well, Scaly's not going to go into the water and hasn't got
Okay.
a ranged attack. So I think Scaly's going to do a haste spell on himself.
Okay.
Anybody got any objections to that? I say in my very quick round.
Yeah, do what you want.
I was just wondering if there's anything else people thought would be better.
How are you doing for hit points?
I'm alright. I think what I'm going to do is do a haste myself and then move. He seems to be getting at me every single round.
And where are you going to move?
I'm going to move up north. Up to the north.
You're moving up onto the northeastern raised
Plateau.
area. Right, where the
Yeah.
benches are and stuff.
Yeah.
Excellento. At the end of your turn, Uncle Buggy, what is your armor class without any natural armor or armor bonus?
It's just my dexterity then.
I think if you've got like protection magics that convey an armor class bonus or anything like that, that counts.
+2 half plate, so I get +2 dexterity, so 12.
12. Okay. 2 tendrils snake out of the cloud of insects at you. The first one hits armor class 23.
Yeah.
And the second one hits armor class, well, way more than that. So that's 2 attacks. You can half this because of your rage.
Yeah.
You take 17 points of acid damage, so 8 points of acid damage. That was at the end of Scaly's turn. The next person to act is Beverly.
They haven't round me or anything like that.
No, they just brush against you and do acidy nastiness.
Well, I will do another Dissonant Whispers, I suppose.
It's a... what is it saving throw? Oh, I'll roll it and see what we need. Oh, it's only a 6. It's not going to be enough, I think. What was the DC?
17.
It fails. It is going to take that. It's going to take that.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay. 36 points of damage.
Psychic.
Yeah.
And it has to move away from you. Directly away,
Yes.
right? As far as it can go?
Yes.
It runs right up into the raised northwestern area. It runs right to the back of that, using its reaction. It
Using
does,
its
doesn't it?
reaction, yeah.
Anything else from Beverly Hippies?
Yes, he's moving further away from the water.
Backing himself up into that
Yeah.
corner.
Yep.
You still think, Burps, that you're not quite safe where you are.
Really?
You feel that to really be safe, you'd need to be up near where the tables are in the far
Oh,
north.
well, I can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Eastern corner.
Yeah, so there.
Yeah, now you feel you're in an area that looks like it's dry.
Okay.
Don't know what the dragons are doing. Probably just waiting for something to happen. Sessions on 21.
Well, the water's not surged, which is
Not yet.
not yet, and I can't see. Presumably, I can't see it across this.
This is this light obscurement business,
Has it-
which is a bit annoying. 'cause
Is
it's
this light obscurement part of a
particularly
concentration spell?
well-framed. No.
No. Okay.
I see where you're going with this. Not happening.
Well, I'm going to continue
Given it-
concentrating on my.
I think you can see it. As long as you're at the bottom of the...
Okay, I poke my
Right,
head
as long as
down
you're at
over the bottom of the thing,
Yeah, so it's a bit hard to see in the cloud.
Right, yeah,
but you can see through
the
it. and
you can see through the buzzing cloud of insects.
I do toll the
and you
dead
can
on
see
it.
it.
Needs to make a wisdom saving throw or take some damage.
Okay, rolling the blue dice of saves, which is being... Oh, what's the DC? That's
18.
pretty good. It's enough.
It takes...
Any damage?
No. Hang on. Since it
No, it's that one where you take...
nothing.
You take
isn't
more
it?
damage if you've been wounded, but...
Yeah.
Right then, we move on to 20. On 20...
One option, I could do a fireball in the middle of this swarm of insects. That would possibly get rid of it.
I think it's not your go yet.
The pool surges again. So, Sessions, what are we going to do here?
Well, I was trying to direct the water away. So, actually, pretty much to where it is now.
Something tells me there should be some kind of opposed check here, but I don't know if I can really work out what that should be. First things first.
You could make a
Uncle
spell
Buggy.
caster attribute check or something.
Graham, you're the rules master. I'm going
I don't know, I'm just making it up as we go along, but it sounds like if you
No,
use a
well-
opposed check, that would make sense.
I'm going to roll a d20 and add its spellcasting modifier.
Yeah.
And
Shall I do the same?
whoever gets the highest, but I would prefer some gradation, really, rather than a you win or I win. But we haven't got a mechanism
How
that
do you
will, that will
gradate?
determine that. Here we go. I get a 17 in total. Your turn.
I get 7.
No. It's not enough. Okay, so the
I'm gonna hang
pool
Mike. Can I
yes.
use my luck to re-roll this?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna use one of my luck points to try re-rolling it.
Trying to turn a 2 into something better. What is your spellcasting modifier?
+5.
So you need a 13
Yeah, I know.
to beat me,
Yeah, there you go.
getting a 10. It's
15.
Have you used your Ort dice yet today?
I haven't used my old dice.
Would you like to use your Ort?
No.
No. Okay. Water surges through the cavern. A flushing vortex of horror. Uncle Buggy, Scaly.
You know, if you wanted a gradation, you could just say it was less than everyone was protected.
That would be a good idea, but we don't need to worry about that because I've now won under the existing system.
But we were going for another, dip onto the
Taking
dessert
the
trolley.
full spoils. What number did you get in total?
15.
You're 2 down. I think that seems reasonable. Great. So what I'm going to say is that Scaly has got, Buggy has got, Parker is not got,
Hurrah!
Burple is not got, and Sessions is only 5 feet away. I'm going to say that you're got, I'm afraid. So
Wouldn't I be
Sessions is
most
got.
likely to protect myself? Just out of idle curiosity, wouldn't it be?
Which of the unaffected pair is either you or Parker? You choose.
I thought you were on the broom anyway, Sessions.
I am on.
He is on the broom, but this thing surges 20 feet up as well as out.
Okay.
It's either you or Parker.
Well, obviously, Sessions chooses Sessions, doesn't he?
Okay, so Parker,
God.
Tool, and Buggy have got to make DC 15 strength saves, please.
Okay, you got a much better chance of making than me. I've only got +0.
I don't. And I make that save.
There you go.
So some rolls a 1.
Choice.
I rolled a 1, but I'm a hobbit.
18.
Okay, Scaly makes a save,
I rolled a
rolling a 6.
15,
15 is enough.
and I also...
Wow.
Yeah, I'm also
You have a
rolling
+9.
advantage anyway, so...
That is very, very impressive,
you get-
Uncle Buggy. Did everybody save?
Yep.
First of all, everybody is prone but not swirled around. Second of all, and I have remembered this time, everybody takes half of the following acid damage. It's all gone very quiet. It's not that bad. Oof, that's a good roll. Everybody takes half of 38 points of acid damage. Obviously, Buggy's going to take less.
And there's no, dexterity save or anything for that.
The strength save is to stay on your feet, but you are immersed. There's nothing you can do about that. I'm saying that because of you made the save, I'm applying a half damage. It's not particularly well specified in the rules that we're using.
It's alright.
That was on 20. On 19, it's Parker.
If the water surged up 20 feet, what happened to the insects?
Good point. I don't think that's particularly well covered. I will say that the insects have gone.
Lovely.
No, good argument, Lucas.
And where is the creature?
It's a good question, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
No sign of it,
It's vanished.
currently. The
What's going
swirl
on?
subsides, and you look across the chamber. There is no creature. You've just got the 2 pools as they sort of gently settle back into position.
So it might be
It just
inside the
disappeared
athlete pool.
suddenly.
Possibly. It came from that northern green sludge pool.
Well, it surged up, and then as it receded, the creature was gone with it.
That is a possibility.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing I can do on the pool. I'll search it. So, but you said that the surge of water didn't cover the tables.
To the north of you.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I'll search them then.
There's all sorts of
Nothing else to do.
junk, Parker, spread around on the floor around those tables. Most of the stuff on them is kind of alchemical equipment. Most of that stuff has been broken, shattered. But there are surviving bits and bobs. Give me an investigation check.
Gladly. Oh, Jesus Christ. 3.
You're looking at all this garbage and you can't pick out anything that looks out of the ordinary or not just part of the general detritus.
Yeah.
Anything else? No?
No.
Buggy on 18?
I'm going
Standing right next to this pool.
I'm going westwards into the area that the creature was, and I'm slashing around with the axe in case it's gone invisible.
Got it. You don't come into contact with anything. Again, you can see stuff. There's rocks and boulders. There are some upended and smashed and disturbed barrels and crates and stuff. No creature, no nothing.
I've got enough movement to run around that whole area, and if it's there, I'll bump into it.
Yes, I understand. You're just kind of slashing wildly around, covering that area off to make sure it's not there. Nope, you don't find anything.
No.
On 18, from the northern pool, it resurges. It looks
Revivified.
refreshed.
Got his limbs back.
It's got one of its tendrils back, so it's got 3 tendrils. It turns to face Burple, Parker, and Scaly. And it breathes out a cloud of noxious, acidic steam. And all of you are going to have to make saving throws against the acid damage and the dreaded strength training poison. But we're going to find out whether or not saving throws pick things up. Next week, yes.
I don't feel like we're equipped to fight this creature properly. If it's regenerating the way it is, then we've literally done nothing to it.
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. The Prince of Red Hand and Age of Worms are copyright Paizo. The Prince of Red Hand was written by Richard Pett. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening.